With the earnings, then another impressive set has been delivered by India's largest airline, Indigo, which has registered its fifth consecutive quarter of profit in the third quarter itself. And despite supply chain issues, the airline is confident of adding one aircraft every week to its fleet, enabling expansion on domestic as well as global routes. ET Now Sumit Chaturvedi caught up with Indigo CEO Pieter Elbers in this exclusive conversation. Let's go across and listen into them.
We're rather confident of our ability to deal with that situation. And even for the coming quarter, the fourth quarter of the fiscal year, financial year, I should say 24, we have given a positive capacity guidance of plus 12%.
Let's talk about yields, and the yields were highest ever in quarter third. Now, what is the overall outlook as far as yields are concerned in the coming quarters? Also, do you think advance bookings are strong enough to hold the Q4 level of last year as well as far as yields are concerned?
No, I think we have yields are always fluctuating on a seasonal basis and high season and low season. And these fluctuations were there in the past and will there be in the future. At the end of the day, yield should be a reflection of market demand and capacity supply, but also should be adequate in order to make investments for airlines and continue to build a sustainable business. We're confident about the market growth itself. I think in the recent event in Wings, the announcements were shared, and the government predictions were shared of doubling the market size from today's 150 million to 300 million towards the end of the decade. Also at Indigo, we have basically announced to foresee a doubling of our airline and company towards the end of the decade.
Peter, despite some flight cancellations, overall domestic traffic, if you talk about the market as a whole, domestic traffic was up 5% while global was around 40%. Now, do you expect this to continue or become better in Q4? What is the outlook for that?
You know, there is a rather than a quarter over quarter, let me take a step back. And aviation in general in India is still, I would say, at the early stages. The penetration as an overall percentage of people flying domestic, international, is relatively limited compared to some other parts of the world. So that just speaks to the enormous potential to further grow.
The free cash on books just keep on increasing. It's 19,200 crore, around that figure now. When do you plan now to reward shareholders? Also, any plans now for dividend or share buyback that you might consider?
You know, we have a couple of initiatives taken when it comes to diversify some of our financing. I think you've seen that also in the elucidations. And what is important, and that's where today was an important milestone really, with the results of this quarter, we are now turning into a net worth positive company.
And Air India, now it plans to add significant capacity in 2024. How do you plan to protect market share?
Air India is doing their thing. Of course, we look what our competition is doing, but we are not guided by a pure drive for a certain market share. The market share eventually is an outcome of different dynamics. And I think what's important for us is we have a capacity outlook, we have a market outlook, and at Indigo, we put our best foot forward to deliver that. I think over the last couple of quarters, we've demonstrated that we're able to do that, and we continue to do so going forward. Overall, the fact that also Air India expands is, I would say, just underlining the potential and the growth of the Indian market itself.